Hey, it's Monday night, and you know what that means? Monday Night Live. So I am really excited today to be having Alisha on. She is an incredible human, but don't just take my word for it. You will see for yourself just how incredible this human being is. And I really look forward to sharing space with her and connecting, and hopefully she can inspire you all just as she has done me. So we'll just wait for her to jump on. Please, if you are wanting to ask a question, please ask it. Please be interactive. You know, we welcome all the questions or feedback or comments. You know, we love it when we get the interactive questions. So I am currently filming out of Metroflix, and here she is, our guest of honor. So I'm going to invite her on and we can get this started. Okay. All right. I've sent you a request, so you just have to accept that request. And hello, how are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
Good. You look amazing. I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. My lack of hair, I love it.
I'm so in love with your hair.
Thank you. It's something different.
Thank you so much for agreeing to join me on my live. I know it's a little bit out of your comfort zone and all of that kind of stuff, but I'm so glad that you decided that you were gonna join us, because I just want to share you with the world. You know, I haven't it hasn't been that long since I found you, and I'm just like so inspired, and you don't even know how much you actually come into my head when, you know, I'm, you know, at those points in prep, you know, 5 weeks out, it starts to get a bit hard and you're a bit hungry and this, that, the other and all of that. And it's just like, you're just there, and you don't even know like that you're there. So thank you.
I love
for being
that.
there for me.
You're welcome, and honestly, it means heaps to hear that though. And I do get it often, and it keeps me going. It means that, you know, obviously I've been able to have an impact on people's lives, and it's that no excuse kind of attitude that gets us to the finish line. That when we are hangry and we're like, we cannot do it anymore, we always think of somebody who inspires us and is like, you know what, if they can do it, so can we. We've got this.
100%.
And you just keep driving.
Absolutely. So I just want to tell anyone, if they want to chuck any questions in there, please feel free to ask any questions or to throw in any comments or feedback. We love it. We love it. We love it. And that's what we're here for. So I just want you, because after this is done, obviously, it stays on my page so that people can come back later and watch it if they don't get to get here. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, where you're at, what's going on, like just a little bit about yourself so that we can kind of catch people up with where you're at?
Yep. Okay. So I have metastatic breast cancer, which is known as stage 4 breast cancer, aka incurable, just manageable. So at the moment, my treatments are to prolong my life. We can no longer save it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
But that's okay. Doesn't mean that we stop living. We keep living.
Of course.
And then we've got, I'm a mum of 7 kids. So I've birthed 4 of them, and 3 are from hubby's previous marriage. Beautiful. But they're my girls. I'm mum to all of them.
Of course.
And then I was diagnosed with my last pregnancy. And my last pregnancy is the one child that me and my husband share together. And his first son, so that was like a massive milestone.
Yeah, wow.
And
you gave him the boy.
I did give him the boy, pass on that name. And so it was a matter of, I'd actually had my lump in 2017, and I'd fought with doctors to try and get it assessed. But I had just started a comp prep myself. My very first comp prep. I was only 27. I was extremely fit. I'd never had no family history of breast cancer, nothing. So doctors just kept saying it's nothing. Just kept taking antibiotics. And yeah, I just kept getting pretty much turned away. Felt like a hypochondriac. As time went on, it progressed. The lump progressed. Still got told it was nothing. 18 months had passed, and we'd finally fallen pregnant, and I was diagnosed. So by that stage, what started off as a pea-sized lump back in 2017, it was 9.5 centimeters, had gone to my lymph nodes. So it was quite large.
Yeah, wow.
And then, and then with the pregnancy, there was tests that they couldn't do, like the CTs and the bone scans. So then once baby was born, so I had to have him early. So then that way I could start treatment as soon as possible. And then that's when they discovered, after further testing, that it had gone onto my liver. So I was already stage 4. And to be told at 29 that, you know, with a 19-day-old baby and 6 other kids, that you have terminal cancer in a way that they put it to you, it was heartbreaking. But, you know, this is my journey. This is the hand I was dealt, and now we just make the most of it.
You are such an incredible human being. Like, I just want to tell, like, I use you when I'm talking to my clients, and I don't even like saying clients, my friends, my people, all the time. Like, I can never use the word client. It's not even, I don't like it.
I know, right? They just become family. You know? Yeah, they become family.
I'm always bringing you up, you know, when they're telling me, oh, I'm tired or this or that, and I'm like, no, look at this lady. No, look at her. She's not tired. She's like, you know, you probably function from a permanent state of exhaustion, you know what I mean? Like, with everything.
And that's just mum life.
Kids, husband, this, that, the other, you know? And I'm just like, no, there's no excuses. If there's no excuses for Alisha, there's no excuses for anyone. So,
100%. And it gets to that point where like I said, I love being able to motivate people. I was very fortunate with the people that I have in my life, especially my gym fam. Absolutely love them. We've all seen, especially.
Gym fan, can I just say, just next level.
They are, aren't they?
Walk this earth, and the support of not only, you know, you in your prep, but in life. Just they're so invested in you achieving, because they want it for you, you know, so much. It's like, you know, themselves are like, it's almost like it's for them, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's true. And that's one thing that we always say to each other, especially me and Pat, is people don't understand that taking that 5 minutes out of your day to ask someone how their day is, or to give that like those encouraging words, you've just made a massive difference. To us, that means nothing, but instead of walking around with their headphones on in the gym, engaging in conversation, it's satisfying to us as much as what it is to them, to just be able to bring that smile to them. It's rewarding.
Like, Pat, I think I commented on something. He had something on his story, and I comment, because that's what I do. If I see something, I just think it, like, I say it. You know? And and Pat, you know, responded, and he just gave me a little bit of his time, and I loved it. It just actually, like, I got to share that I was also competing in the same competition that he's going to be competing in 5 weeks, and all of that kind of stuff. And he even, you know, went so far as to offer me his like encouragement and support. And I was just like, that's where it is for me. Like, right there. Like, you just,
it's life-changing, and it helps. It helps through your prep. It helps your daily mental state. And that's one thing. You'll never see Pat walk around the gym with headphones on. They're always off talking to someone, and, you know, still the hardest man working in the gym, trust me, but he's there and just making people smile.
And you just feel like he's always of service. Like, you know, some people that are always of service, and that's just who they are, you know, and that's what fills their cup, you know. And I got that from him, from the few little interactions that we've had. And I'm just like, you're my people. Like, I feel,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And
So,
that's what it is. Like, we started off as strangers. And
yeah,
then now,
wow.
like, you know, him, his beautiful wife, Renee, like, you know, they're just hand in hand. Like, as much as we can sit here and talk about Pat, it comes from a good wife, you know, who is just as amazing. So it's like all this background energy, all this background support that I have all year round,
Yeah,
is
wow.
what makes a difference. It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
So I'm very, very blessed. Like you said, my gym fam, next level, they are
Love,
all
absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely.
So,
My
yeah.
friend and Tony is like speechless. What an honor to hear from you. And it is. It's such an honor and a true, true, true privilege. And I really, really, like I said, I cannot even thank you enough. And, you know, speaking of those other energies, your husband, you know, he
Yes, I
seems,
know.
wow.
Hey,
Like,
how can you do it without
and,
him? You
you
know
know,
what it's
and
like. Yeah.
he's easy on the eye. That helps too.
Yeah, oh, it definitely helps. It helps him a lot when he's in trouble. He's very lucky.
Love that.
That's why he survived so long now.
Yeah,
But he's a very good man. I'm very, very lucky.
yeah,
And just to even be able to, like if this sport isn't up your alley and it's not what you're into, which my husband trains every day just like I do, but he's the first to admit I could never compete. I don't have that dedication to food. He loves food.
yeah.
Friday to Sunday, loves to be able to eat what he wants, no
Love that.
restrictions. But to be able to support your partner go through it, and you know, especially from a different cultural background, to you know, which plays a massive role in it. Like,
I was going to
that's my
say,
wife
like,
up
what
there.
background are you and your husband? Like, what
So I've got Italian background, and then he's Turkish Cypriot.
okay,
Yes, yes. So
yeah,
he's like, you know, very family orientated.
yeah.
We just, I don't know, it was just a matter of, I mean, who thinks that they're going to grow a family overnight? What kind of people are able to take on, you know, literally double their children
Amen
overnight
to
and make
that.
it work?
Amen to that. I get
So, yeah,
that's just like it is such a beautiful. And like I said, I see even though you know photos, everyone like you can just the energy transcends the photos. Like
yeah,
you can see the feelings if that makes sense, sort of thing.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
actually it is incredible. Like even that you are couple goals as well. Like
Oh, thank
so
you. Thank you.
inspirational. It's
We,
amazing.
we definitely carry each other. And I think that, like, you know, I've always been the strong, independent. I was single mom. I was, you know, nothing was going to bring me out of my element. I'd finally reached to where I was. I was content with myself. I didn't need a man to carry me, like, you know, and I'd
Yeah,
spent so many years thinking that I did need that.
yeah,
Um, that when I got to that stage, when I met him, I was like, no, I don't need you. Like, you know, but then when we got to know each other, I was like, no, I do need you. I don't need you to reach any goals or anything, but I can't live without you.
yeah.
And
Wow. See, I love that you wanted him.
yeah,
You just wanted him.
yeah. And
That's
not like a
beautiful.
lot of people, they didn't doubt us, but of course it was always the concerns. How are you going to raise so many children? How are you going to do this? How, you know, there's always those questions. 6 kids, that's a lot. So, and it was always, you know what, we'll make it work and then we'll have one more. So it was
Love
always,
it.
you know, there was no doubt. It was, yeah.
You
And
know,
then when
you know, the
everything,
thing is that people kind of tend to think that, oh, you have to divide things. Things just, you know what? We multiply things. We make things happen. Like things don't have to be
yeah,
divided, don't have to be, you know, split or this, that, the other. Like we make things work. We learn
yeah,
to, you know, and
adapt.
that's what
We
happens. And
adapt. Yeah, we definitely do. So, you know, it was just,
what a blessing.
there's,
Like what a
yeah,
blessing to, you know, like you said, you've got 7 amazing, amazing
yeah,
children and
yeah. I know, very, very lucky. And we got a puppy yesterday, so he's our
oh, I
8th child now.
saw.
Oh, he's so cute. So
So, so
he's
cute.
our 8th one. I had to sleep on the lounge last night just to, you know, to settle him in. And
Oh, you're so cute.
every time I moved, it was like that little sookie thing. Drop your hand back down, mum. Let me know you're there. So it was, yeah, you know,
Oh,
what's another mouth to feed in this house by this stage?
look, you know what? And puppies are just love.
Yeah, yep,
So
they
what's
are.
all up?
They're
Like
so
we never
joyful.
have enough of that. So
Never, never. We all need it.
absolutely, absolutely. So what's next for you in regards to your bodybuilding career?
So I would love to compete this year. Anyone that's seen my physique and the way that it can come in, it's very evident that my lower body is definitely my strong point. So we always use, our strong points to our advantage. So I would love to do wellness in the
Oh,
IFBB. Yes, I would love to be there, do that, and see how we go. So that's the next aim. Grow these legs a bit
wow.
more, and yeah, get on stage
Yeah,
again. I live for it. I
that's
absolutely,
so
you know what it's like. It's, self-doubt, and then once you're there, you're like, I can do this. I can do better. I can not that you think that you weren't good enough, but you're like, I
right.
was capable of that at that point in my life. I'm now stronger mentally for it. I'm better, physically for it. I can keep going.
You're more
So,
experienced too. You know
yeah,
what lays ahead of you now. So you can mentally wrap your head around it and like
yep,
even more, I think,
yeah,
having done that. So, and I just thought, and you were even like you were having your treatments and stuff all through prep, and I just,
yep.
how was that? Like, how did that work? Like, did you have to make any sort of concessions, or like, how does that work? Like in your situation?
So with the immunotherapies that I'm on, so I was on how my treatment worked is I had 20 weekly sessions of chemo. Then
Yep.
I had during them every 3 weeks is what they call targeted therapies. So the chemo pretty much knocks all the bad cells to sleep, and the
Yep.
targeted therapies are designed to try and keep those bad cells asleep for as long as possible.
Okay.
So on those targeted therapies, my hair would grow back, but they've still got like side effects all to themselves,
Yeah, of
like
course.
muscle cramps. One of the drugs is septin, you just get like this nose leak. And when coronavirus is walking around and you're trying to like not,
Yeah.
trying to wipe your nose with a tissue and be like, it's not corona. Everyone's, it's everything. Muscle spasms is probably one of the worst ones. A lot of joint pain and everything like that with these targeted therapies. So
Yeah.
them I'm still on. They're still like, thank goodness they're still doing their job at the moment.
Yeah.
And so every 3 weeks I go into the chemo center and I have them done. But like I said, like it does do the pain. The pain was probably one of the biggest things. And I would have a PT session with my coach, Adam, and he'd be like, Leash, how you feeling? And, I'd sit there and he's like, you're cramping up. I can see your muscles. And they would just spasm out of nowhere. And he's like, Leash, stop. And I'm like, I've got this. He's like, you do have this. He's like, but we can take a break. And I'm like, nope. Like, and he's like, you've got this. Like, if you're happy to go through it, we've got this. And we would just keep going. And, he always worked in with me. How are you feeling? Do you want to do a PT session, the next day instead of today? And
Yeah.
things like that. It was always encouraging. It was never, oh, you shouldn't be doing it. No,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be working through it
Well, he let
because,
you lead. A
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people don't, like I remember when I was in the wheelchair doing all that, and I was being, I was in rehab,
yep,
and it was all the softly approach, no, don't sit, rest, and I just actually had to get myself out of there and said, you know what, I can't do this.
yep,
I need to be able to lead the direction of this lead, and as much as you're, you're trying to, rest and this, that, the other, but sometimes you've got to be a little bit aggressive. It's almost like fighting a battle. It's like a demon in a way. Like, and you're just like, no, I've got to do this. I can do this. And just let me break through. Like, let me
yeah,
get
yep.
it.
It's exactly it. And that was
It's
always my
great to
response.
have you
Nobody
have
knows
in your
my
back.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And that was something that, obviously that's where my husband come into support as well. Um, is it okay? Like, everything is going to change, but I need you to tell me on my hard days that it's okay. You've got this. Don't doubt yourself. Keep going. And because there was
Yeah.
days there where the pain was bad and I would cry and I'd be like, I don't want to do it anymore. And he's like, but look how far you've come,
Wow.
So it's like, and even my Pat,
Bless.
again,
Bless.
all the time messaging me. Leash, how are you feeling? And I'd be like, I'm having a bad day. And he'd be like, you've got this, you've already come so far. And he'd send me photos of like earlier in my prep, and he's like, look at how far you have come. Like, you know, we're all behind you. And it was like those things that even if I didn't want to go on for myself, I had this massive support crew, like my gym, you know, everyone that wanted to see me succeed, Food for Fitness, my coaches, my posing coaches, like absolutely everyone. There was points there where I didn't want to do it. But then you're like, if I don't get up and I don't keep going, I'm letting everyone down that's looking up to me. So it wasn't doing it for them, but it was to keep me motivated. They always kept me motivated.
Absolutely.
So it
Sometimes
definitely
you
helps.
actually don't do it for yourself. You actually do it for others, not to let them down.
Yeah.
And if that's what gets you through that day, so be it. It doesn't always have to be for you, but obviously in the end it's for you. But that day, if it's doing it for someone else, it's going to get you over the line. And mate, whatever works. Whatever
it works. And that's it. And people would say, you know, why are you pushing yourself if this is how it is? Or some people, I read like some comments when my news article, because it went like worldwide, but some people were like, why is this mum, if she's got limited time, spending all of her time in the gym? But they weren't realizing that one, you know, on my treatment days, I was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go so I could train before treatment, because sometimes I was too tired and too sore after treatment. They weren't seeing the sacrifices. The older kids go to school, so it was just, you know, putting the baby in creche for an hour and a half, then going back at the night time once they were all in bed. Like it was my goal, but I never sacrificed family for it. And my kids are my biggest supporters. It was days when I was like, oh, I don't want it. And they're like, Mom, look at you. You've come so far. Mummy, we're so proud of you. Mummy, show us your muscles. Your muscles are bigger than Dad's. Like, you know, it was just all that.
But people are always trying to guilt you.
Yes, 100%.
And Nikki's saying, keep being you. You're right, because Nikki's got MS too, and she went overseas for stem cell treatment and all of this kind of stuff. And she probably got guilted as well as to why are you competing? Why are you this? Just be a mom and do the. Yeah, we are being a mom, but you know what? If we're unhappy, we're not the best mums that we can be.
Exactly.
You know,
that's exactly it.
And you know, kids, like you said, they're the supporters. They want to see you do it. They're just as excited.
And they learn. They learn what is bad about showing them that nothing is impossible. What is bad about teaching them physical fitness as well as being able to eat healthy. Yeah, it's exactly right. We do. Instead of, you know, the stuff that we see now in music videos and on TVs and shows and stuff, these people who are able to live a healthier life or a better life to improve themselves physically and mentally, why is that a bad thing for our children? Teach them. You know, teach them the right way.
There's no more valuable lesson than anything you want is possible. You know, watch me do it, because, you know, a lot of what I'm doing as well, it's impossible. You're not going to make it. Blah, blah.
It's exactly it. You would have copped it. You would have copped it. Oh, it's fake. It's photoshopped. It's not real.
Like, oh, what about Zia? And I'm like, but she loves coming to the gym and watching me from, you know, the office or doing whatever. Like, she's all for it, but, you know, they just don't get it.
No, I know.
It's actually hard. And I just think, well, why are you trying to guilt mums?
Yes.
Like, guilt mums. Just because you've had children doesn't mean, obviously, they're your world.
Yep.
But we still have to just set a standard for them to just see and do. And I love that, you know. I love everything you're doing. And I've, you know, like I said, always like, oh, you know, don't you think, you know, you could wake up tomorrow, exactly, I said, you know. I'm like, exactly. You're saying that as though it's a bad thing, like, you know, like as in you could wake up tomorrow and be paralyzed again, and won't you have regretted not spending that time with your daughter? No, I would have regretted not going for what I wanted.
Exactly. You know? It's exactly it.
Seeing me not going because I was living in fear or living, just on borrowed time.
Yep, it's exactly it. And that's what it is. What do you want to do? Oh, she just sat around waiting for time to eat her up and did nothing and achieved nothing, showed me no goals, no, we are doing the best thing for ourselves and for our children. And the state of mind that training and feeling better about yourself puts you in is our children need that. If we're not happy, we cannot produce happy energy. We cannot produce a happy home. We need it as much as what they do for ourselves.
I'm all
So,
about the energy, all about the
yep,
vibes.
yep.
So
It's all
important,
good
so
vibing. Good
important.
vibing. It is
Always vibing
100%.
high, always vibing
Yep,
high. But you know
yep.
what, you are so fun though. Like I said, even like with you, like doing your like trendy haircuts and stuff, and like you're just fun. And I love that about you. You know, like even if you're having a tough day, you're still smiling. You're still fun. Like you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
don't lose yourself. And big kudos to you because that's hard. Like you know,
yeah.
anyone that
It,
doesn't even have half the challenges that you do struggle sometimes to put a smile on their face and do all of that. So, like you, like I said, literally have changed my life, and I can't even thank you enough. Like I said, you just are the perfect example that I tell, show everyone, and I
thank
love the
you.
fact that you're bringing awareness because I didn't know, even though I've had family members and friends all gone through different sort of breast cancers, I never kind of knew the different kinds and what it meant and this, that, the other, and different treatments and all that. And you're bringing a lot of awareness to that. And I love that
Yep.
because I never really like knew about the different stages and this, that, the other. So, you
Yeah,
know,
and it's important. Like neither did I. I thought breast cancer was just breast cancer until I got breast cancer, and then something popped up on the breast cancer page, and this was about 11 months into my treatment, and somebody was like, your typical subtype only accounts for like, a low percent of women with all breast cancers. And I'm like, what is a subtype? I'm like, they exist? Like, I'm like, here I am battling breast cancer, and here I was thinking that it was just breast cancer. But there's just so many different types to it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and I think the biggest misconception is like, people look at me, even my dad. My mum had to sit my dad down because, and he's like, oh, is she in remission now? And my mum had to sit him down the other week and be like, Bill, she doesn't go into remission, sadly. Like, I think it's about time we had this tough talk. Like, and it's just, and I've been now doing it for 2 years this coming February. So next month, it's been 2 years since I've been battling this. And it's just, my dad's only just had the cop the talk
Yeah,
last month that stage 4 is incurable. Doesn't mean that the movies also create that misconception that we're all bedridden. We're
yeah,
all over a
yeah,
toilet bowl being
yeah.
sick when we're going through chemo.
See, I
No,
didn't
I
even,
refuse.
you taught me that.
Yeah, yeah. And I refuse to let it be that way. Like I said, Isaac was 19 days old I was he was 19 days old when I got my stage 4 diagnosis, but he was 21 days old when I started my treatment. So here I was, being sick in the middle of the night, and I had a baby who had severe reflux, and
Oh,
everyone's like, I'll get him, let me stay over, let me do it. And I'm like, no, this is my baby. I'm his mum. I would do it. And there were nights there where I couldn't get out of bed. So hubby would have to go to his cot and bring him to me, but I still wanted to be the one to feed him. Like
yeah,
there was just so much misconception that with the diagnosis like this, you stop living. Even now, people are still like, oh, you're in remission. That's great. No, I'm not in remission. I just refuse to let cancer have me. And I've always said that I have
yeah.
cancer. Cancer will never have me.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Oh my
it.
God, I just got fucking
So
chills when you said that. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Fuck yeah. Cancer
yeah,
doesn't have
that's it.
you. Let me
No,
go get
never will.
fucked.
Yeah, it will. Even to my deathbed. Like I said that to hubby, I'm like, I swear to God, if it gets to that end, I'm like, you'd want to like push me off a cliff or something. I'm like, because I'm not having people say, oh yeah, cancer ended up killing her. No, her husband pushed her off a cliff. That would be better than,
100%,
that she
100%.
died of cancer.
So like I
So
said again, I can't even stress enough. Kudos to you, like doing a prep and all of that, or just living a healthy life, maintaining that headspace, even when it's so hard to maintain such a headspace. Like, fucking good on you. Like, I can't even. I just love you.
life's easy to get excuses. It doesn't matter what we are, where we are in life, or my cat was sick, or oh, there's
Are
a
you
cloud
all
in the sky.
listening?
I can't go to the gym. Like there is literally an excuse for everything. But if it is important to you, you will find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse.
That's what I always
So
say.
you
It's, do
need to
you
look
want
at
it
it.
enough? Yeah, you want it just
Yeah,
not enough.
it's exactly it. So you just got to
Yeah,
keep going. You've got to find
absolutely.
everything. there's a silver lining to everything. And that's what I said, even my diagnosis, it just made me step back and think, okay, what is really important here in my life? I'm working, I am just like, you know, on my kids' back all the time, running a military camp pretty much when there's so many kids, like this, and this. And then now, it's even friends when we walk in the shops, it's like two and two kids like in line, and they're like, do you like run a boot camp or something? And, you know, I'm like, no, we're just structured. But then I was like, with this time around, I need to take a step back because I don't want to be the mum that was always yelling at us because we were stepping out of line or, you know, or we were dirty. And now I'm like, you know what, let's go run in the mud. Let's go dance in the rain. Let's just
100%.
live life and, you know, love it. So,
that is so good. I want to ask you, the photo that I shared, like it is, like I wrote, it is the most powerful image I've ever seen. And I've been getting messages all day about this image, about how powerful it is and how profoundly it's affecting people. And they're like, well, who is this? Who is she? What, you know what I mean? So tell me a little bit about kind of how that shoot came about, what you were going for, because I don't know what it is, but he captured it, whatever it was.
He did.
Like,
he did.
She, like, I don't know. I'm assuming, and I want these details because
definitely you will be doing it wrong if you did not go and get photos at the end of your prep, towards the end of your prep, through Carl. He is amazing. And you know, he's been in the bodybuilding industry for a very long time, being able to capture all these amazing photos, and has history within the industry. His family have history within the industry. So he's amazing, an absolute heart of gold and a pleasure to work with. It was like not even working with him. So definitely you need to go there. And I will send you the details, but anyone can go onto my page and his links are through there, through the photo that he shared. And so I went and had my photo shoot through him, because at the end of the day with Corona, we didn't know if shows were going to go ahead or if they weren't. With me, obviously, like, you know, I'd started my prep in January last year, not to aim for season A, but because I was so heavy, because I'd only just had a C-section, you know, the February before, and the weight from all the steroids, from all my medications and everything. So I had a long way to go. So we prepped for a whole year. Then I was like, no, I want to capture this moment. And then one of my amazing friends, Jody, she had her photos done through him for her prep and passed me on to the details. So we went up to Newcastle for the photo shoot.
Oh, wow.
And like 100% worth the drive. I would drive across Australia for these images. And then I had said to him at the end of it, Carl, I just want to do something to raise the awareness in breast cancer on my social media platforms. I said, I'm in a position where I'm very fortunate that I do have a voice and I can impact people's lives. I said, but a lot of people have this misconception about breast cancer being a pink ribbon, or breast cancer being the glorified, you know, the beautiful cancer, the one that people don't understand that as women, we lose such an important part of our bodies. We can do, not everyone does, but a lot of us do. And I had, on top of my normal cancer, I had what they call Paget's disease of the nipple. So what that meant is the cancer cells actually eat from the inside out. Wow. And doctors should have picked that up. It was clearly, now that I know what it was a very, you know, subtle hint of what was going on with the lump and everything, but nobody picked it up for whatever reason. But that's, you know, that's the reason why I ended up losing my nipple. And then with that, I said, I want to be able to be the voice for so many women who are not comfortable with their bodies, who hate themselves, who cannot bear to look at themselves in the mirror. It's, you know, I describe it as, it's like looking at somebody's kneecap. I'm like, that is literally what it's like. Like, there's nothing beautiful or sexy about it. There's, you know, it took a lot from me. I was no longer able to feed my son. It was, you know, because I had to have it removed before he was born. It was a big thing. So that's how that come about. And I said, I just want to make women know that they can still be beautiful without being what society expects them to be, because that's how we're all drawn. And he goes, okay, what did you have in mind? And then I come out in my outfit and he goes, just place your hand here. And I just covered my good side and he just one photo. That was it. He goes, this is it. And he turned
Like
the
I
camera to
said,
me and we both just teared up
yeah.
and it was like, that is it. There was just one shot, one time, and it was everything that, it meant everything. So
And
it
like
was
I
just meant
said
to
to you,
be.
like I don't even say that, like it is the most powerful image I have ever seen. And I think the day you shared it,
Yeah.
I shared it. I just had to. I was just, and like all day, like I said, like you see all the comments that are coming up. Breast cancer is so close to home for me. All of this kind of stuff. Everyone was just like, "What is this? Who is this? What's going on? I need to be part of this. I need to see this." And I just, and I just wanted them to know kind of your motivations, like behind that and that photo, because it is just so fucking profound. Like it is amazing, and I think, well, that you captured exactly what you
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
in that, and I love, love, love that.
I know, honestly, and I owe everything to Carl because it was just like I said, that magic moment that he just understood what I wanted
You
and
wanted,
what we needed to do and why it was so important to me. It was like, that'll be just another legacy. I know that, but this picture it didn't just touch breast cancer survivors or, people going through breast cancer. It was within the bodybuilding industry. So many people shared it and it went so large then because it was like, here we are, we all compete, we all put our biggest muscles on show, but it's the mental game. It's what's happening up here that none of us are talking about, and none of us are talking about our own battles of why we're working so hard in the gym and what we have to prove to ourselves to, to get through our hard stages. So it
yeah.
just kind of hit every kind of aspect, and I think that that's why it meant so much to everyone. So
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
And as soon as I saw that, like I said, I understood. I didn't even know. I hadn't even read it yet. I just had just looked at it, and I just needed to look at it, and I got what you were trying to do. And I was like, I need to work with this person because I want to capture that too, because I get it. Like I said, I get it all the time about like I said, even from family, like it's they don't actually understand what it means or the therapy that it is,
Yep.
and the breakthroughs that we make in the gym, and or just striving for something bigger, or
Yep.
things that people say is impossible. Because you know what, I would have said to do a prep whilst having treatment impossible. Like, and I'm like, like me, I just think, what a dickhead to say that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should know better. Like, but
Yeah, I
you know
know,
what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, and then, but even some people like come to me with their stories, and I'm like, whoa, you've been through so much. And they're like, Alicia, do you know your own story? And I'm like, oh, yeah, but other people inspire you and also impact you. And,
All the boys are
hi,
outside.
guys. Oh, the support, nonstop.
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
I love it.
Family, right? They're the
Absolutely.
best.
It's so good. Like, and again, like Pete, my partner, he's actually such a big fan. And like I was saying, see, look at her husband. Isn't he lovely? Like, he does photo shoots with her. Like,
Mind you, he did not want to do that. But I'm like, you know what? So I had said to him, I'm like, you have an 8-week challenge. And he's like, what? And I'm like, okay, you do not want to go to stage. That's fine. That's your choice. But you need to, I want to do this photo shoot and I want you to be in it. He's like, but this is your thing. And I'm like, no, this is our thing. These are going to be photos that we get to hang on forever. We've done photo shoots. We did our wedding. Everything is with our children. What do we have for ourselves?
as a
So
strong
this,
power couple. Yeah.
yeah. And there was like a little, nice, like just adult, saucy enough
What is his
photos
name?
that Metin.
Okay. Because I've always seen it. I'm like, I don't know how to say that. I don't even know if it's saying it right. So
Yeah. So
glad that you.
but we just call him Mets.
Mets.
Mets. Yeah, so much easier. And or Michael, the Aussies, like they're like, who? Because he's a plumber. So when you send him, you're like, oh, Michael. Who wants a Mets to their house? Going to
That's
name his Mets in.
hilarious.
Where are you sending him from? So it's Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. Like it was just something that we had for ourselves. These are
Nice.
photos for me and him, and yeah, something that he had to get through as well. You know what a prep's like. It's just as hard on our partners as what it is on us. So they
Absolutely.
go
And
through it.
poor
They deal with
Pete,
the
he's learning
emotions.
that. I think he's
Yeah.
more nervous than his Met's like more nervous than you when you're doing something because he's freaking out from now and I've still got 5 weeks to go. Like,
No, Metz is so chilled, and he's like, you know what? Our doorbell's ringing at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, who's here? And he's like, Dels, can you just go to the door and grab me my Uber Eats? And I'm like, you're lucky to keep breathing at this stage. Like,
what
you're
a
lucky I
brave
don't throw
man.
this
I
on the
love
road.
it. Oh, I
I know
love
he's a
that.
very daring man. This guy
Yeah. But
keeps me on my
we make some
toes, but that's what.
allowances from time to time for these
Yeah,
things. But the fact
we
that he's
need it.
saying to you to go and open the door and collect it for him,
I
dude,
know.
that
I
man has
know.
balls. Like,
He definitely does. He keeps me going. And you know what? And it comes to that point where it keeps me motivated. I remember getting a message one day and he's like, and I was at the gym on the stepper for an hour, like on a level, anywhere from 10 to 15. So I was deaf
oh,
by the end of it.
you were climbing mountains that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, and he's like, babe, can you just go here and pick me up my dinner? And the address, it was like a meat thing. So I was like, oh, okay, sweet. He obviously wants something for the barbecue. I went there and it was this amazing burger place and all I could smell was burgers. And I picked it up and I'm like, I'm literally going to throw this out the window before I get home. And then, and
Yeah.
I did it. And I was like, you know what? You give me that drive. And he's like, I do it for you, hun. I do it to keep you going. And I'm like, I
I
know.
do it
It's
for
all
you.
about
I love it.
support. Yeah.
I love it.
So it's all about keeping me on my toes. So,
Yeah, yeah. But you
if
know
we
what?
can't say no.
Sometimes watching someone eat something that you want to eat actually feels like you're eating it. It's like,
Oh, I seen your pizza picture.
oh, the snip and chew. I snip and
That's
chew.
it.
Like,
Yeah. And it works,
it actually
right?
works. Whatever works.
Yep.
Or I
Yep.
said to my mum the last prep, I'm like, can we go out for a cake and coffee? But I'll pay, but I choose what cake you eat.
That is the
She's
best.
like, whatever. So I was
Hey, a
I feel
win-win.
like this one. And I just watched her
I
eat it
know.
whilst I sipped on an iced long black.
It's
So,
so good. So
yeah, I
good.
know,
And that's
right?
it. I don't think my kids had any, could not have had any more homemade sweets to the point where Meden's like, you made them sweets 2 days ago. And we're talking all the Arab sweets, all the things that take days
All
to prep
syrups
and
and this, that, and
all
the other.
syrups, all
Oh,
creams and
Vanessa, who was in that photo with me, she's actually just commented that pizza was nice. So, thank you for having my back, girl. I love you.
That's it. They're the friends that we need though.
So,
They're
yeah,
the friends that you
absolutely.
need. Yep, those that are willing to sacrifice for us, right? She just sacrificed
Absolutely.
a pizza for you. That is
I'm just
amazing.
like, can you eat
I
that?
love those
Can I sniff
friends.
it? And can I sniff it before you eat it? Like, usually like people like you put your nose that close to the food, then I'm like,
I know, I
I was
know.
caught up in that business. Like, it was just so good. So
It was
good.
the same. By the end of it, I'm pretty sure the kids were like green and they're like, Mom, I don't want to eat any more sweets. And I'm like, please, I just need to bake more. I need to get it out of my system. So it was, prep makes you crazy, makes you do crazy things, but it keeps us going. So, yep, but you're so close now. You're
5
getting
weeks. And
excited.
yeah, like obviously I'm a bit nervous because it's my first, I call it big kids division because I'm playing with the big kids because I've only ever
Yes.
done transformation divisions. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm playing with the big kids now, Gonna do a big kids division and all of that kind of stuff and working on the posing and obviously, I've got some skin issues that no one else gives a shit about, but I do.
Yeah.
So it's like I am going to be standing next to seasoned athletes that have pretty much never gone through anything, never,
No.
always been fit, always,
Yep. Yep.
obviously, everyone struggles and has these things, but they would not have started 3 years ago
No.
or
No.
started weights 2 years ago
No.
and getting on an IFBB Pro League stage.
Yeah.
Like, this is like
Yep.
ridiculous but when I made this goal, I was 130 kilos sitting in Oliver Brown having chocolate.
Oh, that is
With my
like the
cousin.
best time to make good decisions.
And I just said, because I had just joined Gold's Gym and everybody had just come back from the Arnold. So they had eaten
Yep.
something and they were very happy and looking very good. And I'm like, I don't know what they've got, but I want what
But I
they've
want
got.
it.
So I wrote on the napkin that day that in 3 years,
Good.
2021, I would be on an Arnold's stage. So I'm not sure if
Yep.
Arnold's is going to happen, but
Yep.
I said that I would be on an Arnold stage as a competitor.
That is
And
awesome.
so I've been going for that.
Yep.
And my cousin turned around and said to me, do you even know what the Arnolds are? I'm like, no.
But I'm doing it.
Idea.
I love it.
Yeah,
But that's look at how far you've come.
Glove box. It's there. And
Yep. Now you need to get it into that space, and you need to frame it, and you need to hang it on that wall in your new space.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm
going
to get it out of it because it's a bit crumpled. I better get it out.
Yeah. It all started with a dream until you put it into action, then it becomes your goal.
Absolutely.
So you're doing it.
From time to time, chasing the napkin, and nobody understands chasing the napkin means, but you know, I'm chasing the napkin.
That's it, and you're doing it. You are doing amazing, and you know what? And it's so satisfying. I was the same. I was, and I could have picked out. If this was me when I was doing my first prep in 2017, which I never made it to stage because I've got the pregnancy, then the cancer and all the rest of it. So my first season was last year. But if that was me 3 years ago, back in 2017, I could have picked you out 20 floors. My abs were nowhere near ready. But you know what? I was like, how many people had a C-section, 17 months prior to getting up on this stage? How many people were 26 kilos heavier before they stepped out onto this stage? How many people have had operations and lost, filling in their fingertips and in their, lost lymph nodes and have lymphedema? Like, there was just so many. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Nobody has your story, no matter what it is. And that's your drive and that's your satisfaction. Because like you said, going up against seasoned competitors, I went up against people that had competed, even if it's just 1 year before me. They still competed. I competed against people, PTs. I'm not a PT. I have no fitness background. I was just someone trying to chase my own napkin, had my own dream, so chasing a napkin. And that's where it's at. And same as you. And that's, I think, what makes it even more satisfying. No, I didn't have a gold, but I didn't need the gold because my goal was always just to be a competitor and step out on stage. I'd won. I'd won before I'd even gotten a placing.
Like, you were the most memorable part of those two competitions you were at. Like,
very lucky.
It is just on one day I was in the Hunter doing my transformation division. And the next one I was judging. I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Back and forth, checking it up. Like, I was so excited, to see what happened or what's going on now. And Pat, the other night when I said we had a bit of an exchange, and I was telling him a little, because he goes, oh, you're competing, and I said, yeah, and I just said, and he's like, do you know what? You've already done more and better than anyone else that's going to step on that stage. And I went, well, coming from you, like, to say that was so nice to hear it, because they know, like, what it took.
Yep, and that's exactly it.
Do that.
Get there. To be able to stand up on stage.
That goal's a bit unrealistic.
Oh, of course, you would have copped it.
Maybe
I know.
4 years, this, that, the other, and I'm just like, no, you don't actually know.
Why?
That
exactly
might be right for you, but you don't know who I am.
You are not stopping me. And you know what? You know what I love? And I used to just think, you're driving me. You are making me want to succeed even more than what I wanted 10 minutes ago. I'm now more hungry for it. You've now driven me. Thank you.
Had Tui tell me the other day, she's like, can you, because I always said, I want a big fuck you moment to life. To everyone doubted me, and a big, as soon as I step out, that's my fuck you moment. And Tui goes, can you please not stick your fingers up when you walk out on stage? I said, just because I do it every day and I say, big fuck you, doesn't mean I'm going to do it when I walk on stage. But you know what? It might be so ingrained in me now. I might walk out and just...
You might do it. I know, honestly. And it was the same with me and my posing. Nadima would say, like, you know, do this pose, and every time I would do this pose, and it was like as if I had a crown on my head, and she would wet herself. She's like, every time you do this and you've just made up your own pose, it looks amazing. She's like, you should definitely do it, but don't do it. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, but if you do it, you know, I'm going to laugh. And I'm like, I know. And then I stepped out on stage, and it was like in my head, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it. And I'm like, no, hold yourself together. And that was it. She's like, I was waiting for you to do it. Like, you know, but it's those moments that you hang on to between you and your coach, and you just,
like,
they make for it.
That'll be so you, but don't do it.
I know. And you're like, your coach, I know, well, they're on their toes thinking, oh, God.
Front double. And I'm like, but girls don't do front doubles. I'm like, well, I'm
this girl does.
Way that I'm going to do a front double.
I'm just going to quickly turn frontwards. So forgot which way this front of the stage is.
Absolutely. I just, I look forward to it. And like I said, I'm just not.
You're already killing it. You are inspiring. You are changing people's lives. Like, I look up to you. I talk about you all the time. And
thank you.
No, but I do. And it's people like you that have got those real life stories. And like you said, those ones where they're faced with impossible challenges that people are like, no, you shouldn't, you know, be realistic. Well, why is my realistic version and a better version of me have to amount to your realistic version of me? It doesn't.
I don't fit in that box that you've got.
No,
there. You know, I'm not a jack
exactly. And that was what I said to somebody else the other day. I'm like, if I was meant to fit in a box, I'm like, ask the doctors. They'll tell you. The reason why I'm here with stage 4 cancer is because I did not fit their criteria for breast cancer boxes. I'm like, here I am, still not fitting other boxes. I'm like, and smashing goals, still living, still just proving to everyone that there's no excuse. We can keep going. We do keep going. So, you know, it's all about
Australia. Thank you. It's like, good evening and well done.
Oh, good evening. And that's another federation.
Questions, please feel free to ask any questions, because I got so many questions, and I'm just like, well, join in and ask, or message her. I don't know. Like, you know.
Actually, I'm happy to answer all of them about having the Brady Bunch, about having the cancer.
Oh, I love the Brady Bunch.
You know, nobody knows much about anything unless they ask questions, and that's why I'm so open. Yeah, so open about it all.
The fact that you are transparent, you know.
Yeah.
And as much as sometimes you probably have been asked the same question 150 million times, but you know that person's only ever asked it once, and it actually comes from a place of genuine, like, wanting to know, wanting to be aware of what's going on, or what the fuck even it is. Because when like I said, I read about, you know, stage 4, this, that, the other, and what do you know until you?
Yeah.
Even though I had people in my life that had been through and do all of this and all of that kind of stuff, you educated me. You brought it to my awareness, and it's helped me so much. Okay, so Nabba Australia said, what keeps you positive?
That would definitely be just that there's always someone worse off than you are. You know, and I think that's always, you've got to be thankful for what you have. We're not products of our environment. We're not products of circumstances. We're products of choices. So, you know, you can only grow from what you believe in yourself. And I think sending out all those positive vibes is what keeps all of us going, makes us stronger, makes us better people, and makes us, like we're talking about, higher vibes. Just stay positive. Once you get in a negative headspace, it's very hard to come out of. So it's easy to stay out and not have it. Yeah. So it keeps us going.
Attitude of gratitude. I fucking love it. You're amazing.
Yeah.
When will you be at the gym next? You inspire us to train hard. I'm assuming you know this Amanda. Yes,
I do. And she's amazing. But I actually so I was starting back at the gym. I'd taken some time off over Christmas. Then I was starting back, and then I ended up in hospital again last week. So I'd taken off another week and a half. So I'm waiting to get cleared, hopefully this Thursday, by a specialist, and we'll see. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. You have to keep us posted. Now that you said that, we all want to
Yes.
know. Like Thursday's going to come. I'm going to set a reminder, and I'm going to probably text you. Say, all right, what time's this
Oh,
appointment? When are you going to
Thursday's
get
so
this
packed.
clearance? And
Yeah, that's it. I have
oh,
treatment Thursday. I've got oncologist appointment after, and then I've got this specialist appointment. So Thursday's a
yeah.
busy day.
Oh, look, Carlo's here. Food for Fitness. I love you. Everyone knows how much I'm
Same,
obsessed with Food for Fitness. And you know what?
same.
It just didn't surprise me when you said they were just such a supporter of you, and
Yeah,
like it's just like a true. Carlo is a true representation of his company, like of his food and his passion for people and for
and good food
the
and
good
that
things
family
in
vibe.
life.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what it is. You don't, Carlo isn't just a name that you hear. This is a man that you actually meet. And when you meet him, you feel so humbled and you're like, oh my goodness, that's the owner. That guy, like you were saying about Pat, that guy just gave me the time of day. Like it doesn't matter how big their company is. He's a very family orientated person with a heart of gold who just genuinely wants to make people healthier and better through his passion of food and
And
share
he
that with
wants everyone
people.
to enjoy eating
Exactly.
healthy, and
Seriously. I
he
rave about
educates
food for
us to
fitness.
like
Oh,
the fact
delicious.
that healthy food can taste amazing.
Amazing.
Oh my
Yes,
God. And
yes.
people are like, do you even eat that? Yes, I
That's
live
all I
on it. Are
eat.
you for real?
It is
5
all I
meals a
eat.
freaking day. My whole prep has been Food for Fitness. I'm like, and
Yep.
not only did that I lose 70 kilos with Food for Fitness,
Doing it.
but I've
Yep.
done a whole prep building muscle, doing all of that with Food for Fitness. Like,
Yeah. And
if
it's
I am
true.
not the poster child of that company, then I don't know what is. But no,
No,
thank
they're
you so
amazing.
much.
Yeah.
Ladies,
Yeah.
you are the
I'm so
reason we do
thankful.
this. No, thank you so much. You know what? Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to publicly do this now that we know you are. Thank you for the opportunity, because coming from where we come from and the challenges that we face, not many people see us. And the fact that you see us and you acknowledge us and you want to be a part of our journey and really, you know, give us that means more than you actually know. Like, you have a lot of athletes, but I can say 5 million fold that it hits a bit different for us.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does. He's like I said, just amazing. Like, and one of the conversations that I had with him is anything to give you more time with your children and less time in the kitchen
That's
having to
him.
get through your prep.
That
And
is him.
that I was just like, wow. And then there was a week where I forgot to order, and then I was in the kitchen. I'm like, oh man, this is what he's talking about. I'm like, all these hours. I'm like, to me, it used to be second nature, but until I got onto Food
He's
for
stuck
Fitness,
with
it
you.
was
Like,
so
he's stuck.
easy all
Yeah,
the time. And I've got girlfriends onto eating it now, and they say the same. They're like, you are not
absolutely.
missing out on anything. It is the flavors are the
Oh my
best.
God.
So I
Yes,
know.
I've had teachers call me from school because my daughter's taken it for lunch. Say, what's your daughter eating? And apparently you have
Yeah.
a discount code for it. And I'm just
Can I
like,
have
oh
it?
wow, I love it. I love it. It is
It's
so
so
good.
good.
So Carlo, you are amazing.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. And may
Yes.
it come back to you times 5 million, my friend.
Yes.
May
100%.
it all
Could
come
not
back
agree
to you
more.
times five
Thank you
million,
so much. Yeah.
billion.
And it is
Yeah.
like anything. Anything. I think food has so much to do with it. Good food is,
100%.
yeah, I say it with everyone. Everyone's like, how did you get through your hard days? And I'm like, eating right. I'm like, because on the days where I didn't eat right, after treatments, I felt so much worse. And I'm like, and I'm not one of these people who juice. I know that there is people who do. I don't juice 8 times a day and cleanse, 50,000 times a day thinking that it's gonna, be beneficial. I just ate clean. And it made the world of a difference to my side
100%.
effects, to everything. So
Yeah. And when I
definitely
go to the
foundation.
factory, the fact that like Carlo is just so happy to just show you through and show you how he keeps it. He's so proud. Like even his vegetables, they're not like frozen shit. They're from local providors and it's organic and it's
Yeah,
beautiful and it's. I love that.
it's
Like I love that
real. And that,
it makes a big difference in how your body functions and what it does
yeah.
for you and I just yeah. You
Food's
can
a
tell
foundation,
we're big fans,
always.
Carlo. We're very big
I
fans.
know, and clearly that's it. Big fans of food, big fans of good food. So, and
Of
big fans of
delicious
food for
food.
fitness. Thank you, Carlo. Yeah, 100%. I think we just spent like an hour talking about how good this food is. Everyone, you're missing out if you do not try
Maria
it.
2.0 for your 10% off, guys.
There you go, done. I'll be using that.
Oh, my friend Tina said, you are amazing. Yes, you are amazing.
Thank you. Thank
But,
you
you
so
know, I
much.
thank you so much for your time. Next time we will do Yum Cha. Yes, I mean, 5 weeks. 5 weeks after
5 weeks, you're
show.
almost there.
After
It's
my
not
show.
far. It is
I
not
really
far.
look forward to
I'm
it.
in on
And
that,
when I
guys.
win, Carlo, can you present me can you make sure you're the presenter of the medal? Can you give me my gold medal?
Oh,
Because it will be because of you fed me the whole way through.
yes. That is so good. I love that. I love that. It is
But
true,
thank you
though.
so much for your time and for just being with us and being so open and so real. I just, like I said, I love you. And I can't wait to squish you because when I see you, I will squish
Same.
you.
Same. I can't
And
wait to squish you either. And you're going to be our new champ. Can't wait. I
yes,
cannot wait to see you and support you and watch you up on that stage. It's going to be a
thank
huge
you.
day.
Thank you.
You've killed it. You're already there. This is the finish line. Like you've done all the hard work. This is it. The
This is
rest
it.
is
I'm on the home
easy.
stretch now,
Yep,
right?
you are. You
I
are.
gotta stop picking myself apart. It is what it is,
That's
and
it.
everybody knows where I've come from. So just getting
Yeah.
there is a victory. And
And how amazing you are.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so
But
much.
don't
Thank you
worry,
for having
Carlo. We'll
me.
be telling you the time and the day. Make sure you're stocked up. Let me tell you.
We're there.
Thank you so much. Thank you to your family for lending you to us.
You're
Please
welcome.
keep us posted.
I will. I definitely
Please
will.
wish all your kids for me.
I
And
will.
because, I'm
And my
that Greek
puppy,
Archie
my
that
little
squishes
baby.
and
I
smooches and,
love it.
all
I
of
love
that.
it.
But thank you
That's
so
it.
much. And I just know that so many people will continue to watch this and show this to their people, or just when they need to draw on something, they will draw on you. I have no doubt, just like I do. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And you're
No
most
worries.
welcome.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, and I will
I
see you.
will.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.